Good evening, everybody. Welcome to my sunset. We've got a new sunset and a new week starting. So, this is really exciting, or that's at least how I feel. I feel excited about this new time that we're going into. So, we transitioned from 2025 to 2026, and I think it took this week to solidify as 2026. Now I feel like the year has started, especially with the start of this new week. Got a not too dramatic, but a pretty sunset, just very calm. All of our rain has come and gone, and we're now enjoying clear skies, even though the temperature has gone down substantially. I don't It's not as cold as it was yesterday and during the week, but um, it's a little cold. It might be like 65 or something. But a really pretty day, really pretty sunset right now. It is January is it the 10th? I think it's the 10th. Let me see what my phone tells me. It is 6:08 here in Arizona, which is in the southwestern United States, and it is the 10th. Oh my goodness. So 10 days into the year, and it's now starting to feel like the new year. I think we all needed that transitional 10 days. So my special guest is back, my little puppy. Hi, puppy. I think he's grown now, but he's very young. He's so like, how old are you? How old are you, Leo? A little over a year and a half, something like that. But I'm just enjoying this beautiful night, this evening, this sunset. I don't have too much to share. Usually I like to just sit quietly and show the sky. And if anybody wants to hop into the chat and ask questions and throw out a comment or something, then we can interact. But everybody who's been here before, you guys know about my free app and my hypnosis series, which is in development. The pre-sale link is in the description for both. Well, for the app, or for the hypnosis series, the app is just a free app that you can use. And I've had some people trying the hypnosis series, and one of the things that they talk about enjoying about it is how listening to it during the beginning of their sleep cycle, they're enjoying falling asleep faster. So that actually got me in creation mode. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually create a special audio designed specifically for sleep, so that, if you're not wanting to invest in hypnosis depth and identity shifting and all of that, and you just want a simple audio for sleep, I'm going to create something for that, so that those of you night owls who want to gently drift off into sleep with something natural like my voice and some science-backed stuff in there, then I will develop that for you guys and have something a little less depth oriented. But other than that, I think I'm just going to enjoy the sunset for a few minutes and leave it at that. Hello in the chat. Amonai, hi. Oh, you did find me. Hi. Yeah, I do remember you. Welcome back to my live. Nice to see you back. How are things going? There is nary a cloud in the sky. That is so, it's so funny because we've had clouds for basically the full 10 days or most of those 10 days of 2026. And we even had snow on our mountains, which I was actually surprised about. I didn't think that the temperature, even at that elevation, had gotten that low. But yeah, we're in summer, or we're in the winter now here in the Southwest. But this is as much winter as we normally get. Sometimes we do get snow down here, but last couple of winters have been really, really mild. Monai, are you still here? I wanted to find out how you're doing. If you started using my app, or you did say that you were using it. Let me know how it's going. If you've continued with it, or how that's going. I also have a hypnosis series. If you want to something like that. It depends on, what kind of work you're doing, inner work you're doing. But that link is in the description. Oh, you've been. I appreciate all that you're saying there in the chat about my content. That's good. Yeah, I'm mostly adding content just through these lives during the sunset. I do have some stuff over on my video side, which is a little bit different. I've got some stuff on trading and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general, and dating and relationships and all kinds of things. But ultimately, I've kind of settled on inner work right now, just because I've been going through my own inner work and creating things based on that, and that I'm really into right now. So yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying everything, and let me know if there's something else I can create for you. I know the app is, to me, a little bit sparse, but I want to put some more audios in there. So if you have any ideas or want something specific, let me know. You hope that life has treated me kindly. Oh, I appreciate that. Um, I think so. I think life has treated me kindly and lovingly. I'm still in the warm embrace of life, which I am thankful for every day and every moment. I really feel um, hmm, well, I don't want to get too specific, but I just really do feel like life has warmly embraced me, and I appreciate it very much. you can hear that I have a good heart. Well, I hope that I do. My intentions are always to um, try to reciprocate. And we're all given the gift of life. If we exist, we've been given that gift. And I just want everyone to feel that appreciation of the life that we've been given. It's just such a profound thing. I'm still learning about what life is and what to do with it and how to use it for its intended purpose and all those things. And I think the reason why we're here with all of us here at the same time is to relate to one another and to move the current of life between us and have that relational experience with each other. I think that's a big part of it. Even though we may not want to interact all the time, um, that's why all of this stuff is here, whether it's the animals in our lives, the animals in nature, or just the nature itself, or the things that we create. It's all to have some sort of relationship, some sort of relational interaction that we grow from. Sometimes it hurts and sometimes it feels amazing, but it's all for us to grow and expand with and make this existence and existence in general just more expansive and a creative process. I really do think that just living and breathing and existing is a creative process. You seek the embrace of life. Ah, you feel like you don't belong in this realm. Interesting. Yeah, I can relate. I can definitely relate. And I don't know how many years you have in this world, in this realm, but sometimes when you're a sensitive soul and you're just getting started, or at least maybe you're in your first half, your first half of life here, um, yeah, you can feel like you're in exile. Um, and to me, I think a lot of that has to do with your relationship with yourself, and that's why I created my hypnosis series, is to help people to develop the relationship with the self. And then once you, oh puppy, my neighbor's dog. But once you develop the relationship with yourself, um, you really do stop feeling like you're alone. You feel like you're um, ever and infinitely uh, accompanied and supported, because you have that inner self with you to go through life with. And oh no, puppy. No. Ah, ah, ah. No. Why are you in there? What's in there that you're looking for? He likes knocking over my potted plants. For what? I don't know. I don't know what's in there that he's looking for. Let those plants live. Meow. I wonder if there's like a lizard or something in there. But anyhow, yeah, Amonai, I think try listen to some of the audios in the app. I don't know if I think I only have two, but both of those audios in the app are very somatically connecting. They go deep into your physical sense of self, and they really do help to bridge that mind and body connection and um, stimulate an idea of connecting to that inner self. So give those audios a try. It's best when you do them during sleep or when you rise. Those are movement audios. So maybe after sleep or before going to sleep, you can do those. But that's really helpful. And then just simply talking to yourself and identifying that inner self and speaking to yourself as the inner child and being that caring adult who supports that inner child. And it starts there. You start embracing yourself. And when you start embracing yourself and giving yourself that embrace, just with your intentions and how you speak to yourself, it starts there. So give that a try. Uh-oh. Okay, so I'm just seeing your text now about not liking your inner self. That's what creates that sense of loneliness because we do basically have our own twin within us. And I have twin sons, and sometimes they can antagonize each other, and it pains me to see that because in a way it mirrors um, the twin that we all have. And you really want to see your inner self as your twin self and have compassion for that self. That's the self that needs the adult you so much. And it's kind of like the adage of, I'm just going to paraphrase something, but you don't really, you master things when you start teaching it. So, you learn as a student, of course, but then you gain a higher level of mastery when you become the teacher and start teaching others. You're still a student, but you're learning from the students. You're learning from that reoriented position of teaching. And that's kind of, sort of, in a way, how you're orienting towards your inner self and alleviating yourself of the sense of loneliness by being that adult in that new orientation of being the parent towards that inner child. And you want to be the parent that you always wanted to have for yourself, towards yourself. That's the gift that you're giving yourself, is being that parent that perhaps you never had, or whatever. You get to be that for yourself. And so if you're trash talking yourself and saying mean things to yourself, you're it just doesn't make any logical, if depending on how you think. I'm Even though I'm very sensitive and empathic and emotive and all those things, I do have a lot of logic and reasoning and pattern recognition and all that kind of stuff. And so sometimes logic helps me emotionally. And if you can logically think, perhaps, I'm just coming from my own perspective, but logically, if you think like, I have a choice here. I can either give myself the gift of compassion and being that parent that I never have had, because I can and I'm able to, or I can be everything that I don't want. So just it's a choice that you make, and of course we're in the habit of these things. And I'm an older person now, and it's easy to say these things, having survived the first half of my life, and God willing, I get another half. Um, so I know it's difficult, but you have to start noticing when you start um, a dialogue with yourself that you don't like, and maybe you're trash talking yourself, and maybe you're going on for hours, and then at some point you're going to notice it, and you're going to say, "Oh my God, what am I doing? I've just trash talked myself for an hour and a half, or 3 hours, or all day, or whatever." And at that point, you can say, "Oh, whoopsie. Um, Let me stop. Let me decide to stop because I've noticed it." And, you know, don't get hard on yourself about it. Just notice it and say, "Oh, wow, okay. Let me stop." I acknowledge how you feel. Wow, I feel bad for having trash talked myself all day, but I'm going to decide to do something different right now and change the script and go into something more positive and aligned with what you want and what you want to hear and what you feel like you need to hear and what will give you that sense of being embraced by the world that you yourself are creating. And it just starts there, noticing it, stopping, making that decision to stop, and then giving yourself the words and the emotions and the sense of an embrace that you want to have. And it feels hard at first. It feels like a lot of jumping through hoops, and it feels performative at first, but it starts to feel authentic as you continue to do it. And that's why I'm suggesting you use those audios in the app. I know you're using the app, so check out the audios in the somatic on the somatic page. Listen to those because it has you go through a series of movements that are developmental in nature, and so it kind of helps you to reorient yourself from the ground up, from the child self through to the adult self, and gives you a sense of agency with your movements and thoughts and things like that. Okay, let me check back in the chat. Hi, Racy. Did I make you a mod? Or were you already a mod? Somehow you're a mod in here, but okay, yeah. Check out the app. You want to be more positive? Yeah, it's a choice. And when I used to hear that, my background, my interest, my education, everything is in psychology and metaphysics and stuff. And even through all of that, when people say, "Oh, be more positive" and all that, you don't really hear it. It sounds contrived. It sounds pretentious and all the, "Oh, and let me just be more positive," and it doesn't feel natural when you start. Um, it doesn't feel authentic, and so you tend to stop doing it. And that's kind of why I got into my audios that I'm creating in hypnosis, is because I knew that there was a reason or a deeper no, no, ah, no. There was a reason why I didn't, or there was like a stumbling block or something deeper within me that couldn't connect with that positivity vibe thing. And just being older too, like I'm saying, like it's a bit unfair for me to be saying these things, because when you have maturity, you don't have all the hormonal angst and all these things orienting you towards things outside of yourself that are less than positive. The things that have helped me have been, doing my somatic body work, doing hypnosis and really getting deeper into layers that I was not getting by just thinking positively, um, just listening to mental um, stuff. I needed to incorporate it on multiple different layers. So um, I've had the luxury of 6 months to really go into myself and have a place to just be emotional and allow myself the emotional space to vent and go through things and then rest, which is very huge, especially if you're female bodied. Rest is such a huge, huge thing that you have to give to yourself. And sometimes that's more than just 8 hours of sleep. Sometimes that's, uh, you know, they call it, I saw something like they were calling it bed rotting, which it's funny, but and it's uh, to me derogatory because especially if you're female bodied, sometimes that's necessary. It's necessary to give yourself that much rest. Sometimes you have to rest for a long time to recover from masking, from hypervigilance, from overgiving, from working, from grinding, from hustling. These are things that we can do, but um, there has to be a rest cycle, and sometimes that rest cycle can be more than what is socially acceptable in our world today. So, um, you got to find a way to pamper yourself and give yourself the things that your nervous system you need neurologically. So it's not always just about positive thinking and keeping things up in the mind. You've got to bring things down into the body and take care of the body in ways that you may not have thought about before. And one of those ways that I had not explored, it was in the back of my head, but I never really got into it. And I started doing the hypnosis work, and that has really been a change. I had not been leaning into my somatic body work, and now I'm doing that. And all of these things, I'm realizing things that I thought were um, luxuries or pampering or extraneous to reality. Those things that I have found to be more grounding and more critical and pivotal to my self, my sense of self, my well-being in general, than staying in the mind and all of that. So yeah. Oh, your son was born 8 weeks ago? Are you the mother or the father? I'm not sure. You gave birth to your son 8 weeks ago? If so, oh my God, that is. Oh, you're the father. Okay. Not so many barking dogs. I have my little puppy that I'm babysitting over there. Well, no, I'm actually not babysitting him. Um he's visiting. But yeah, 8 weeks ago. Are did you have a different name? I forgot what your name. I know I had another person, but that was longer ago. That was probably 3, 4 months ago. But I don't know. Um, as a father, yes, you're gonna be frazzled. You're there to support and wake up so that your wife or your partner can rest. That is really really critical. Um, Depending on your wife or your partner, she may want to get up and around and stuff, but um, what the dream situation for me would be for you if you're my partner, my husband, and I just gave birth, would be to just lay in bed and have you do all the diaper changing and the cooking and the cleaning, and then just bring me my baby for feeding and cuddling and encourage me to, there's got to be some movement at some point, or else, then you start getting into the bed rotting. But very gentle, very easy, no forced labor. That's like the most stressful thing, is the forced labor can be really debilitating in the long term. It, it takes a lot out of a woman when she gives birth. It's not an easy thing. It takes, I'm not sure if anyone is familiar with the Carlos Castaneda books, The Teachings of Don Juan, and his other 11 or 12 books or whatever. But regardless of the physical toll that it takes, there are, according to him, there are, and the father too, but with the woman, it's like a double injury, the physical, and there's a metaphysical, like tear or rip or hole that happens, according to the teachings of Don Juan, that happen when you have children, and it's in your metaphysical body. I'm not sure which layer or how he's identifying it, but there are things there on multiple different levels that have to be accounted for and accommodated. So this is why partnership is so valuable. So the strengths and the weaknesses of each and the other are compatible to assist each other in recovering from these types of things and rebuilding each other from the physical all the way through the metaphysical layers. So childbearing is not the simple material thing that we kind of believe it to be. It's very deep. We're creating life after all, right? Oh, Wonder Boy. Oh yeah, Wonder Boy. Yes. Are you Wonder Boy or no? You're not Wonder Boy. Oh, so you are Wonder Boy. Oh, how's it going? You tore yourself away from fatherhood to come and have fun on this life. Oh, you and your partner aren't getting on. Um, well, I mean, if I don't know what the issue is, but if I had to guess, I would guess that maybe she wants more help than than she's getting. That, that's what I would imagine it to be. So I would sit down and have a conversation with her. I don't want to overcommit you to doing things that you don't want to do either. But I would sit down and just have a conversation with her and just say, like, hey, this has been a lot for the both of us. And I know, you're recovering. You did 99.9% of the work up till now, carrying the baby and all of this. And that has taken a toll. What do you need from me? How can I show up for you better than I'm doing? Because, I want this to work for us and for our son. So, um, let's have a conversation about this and just let her go and let her talk and just see what she says. And, um, you know, Maybe you don't even give your input at that time. Just let her do what she's going to do and let her know. Say, okay, I hear you, and I'm going to think these things over, and I'm going to figure out how I can do better. And I hate to blame you, but but I have to. It's the only logical thing to do is to blame you because you have the latitude to do more of the physical things that will make life better for all three of you. So okay, I was just reading through Wonder Boy. I'll call you Wonder Boy. That's but yeah, I mean you gotta so I really like the Superman um ethos, I don't know, but the Superman story, um it really is true for men, um and because there's physiologically we're different, you will never give birth to a child. Your wife did. um so these are things that we what I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but we have to be in reality here and understand that there's differences physiologically, and those physiological differences do affect us metaphysically as well. But for men, the Superman ethos is like such an important one to understand, and understand the power within it, which is that as a man, the more you do materially, the stronger you get. It's not, I think, I'm not sure, are you in the UK? I'm not sure if you're in the UK or the United States, but especially here in the United States, um, so many, I think, is it the majority at this point, um, are raised by single mothers, and it is what it is. It's no judgment or anything, but um, I think as a result of that, a lot of the men in society have us are in some ways oriented towards their feminine side in a way, and haven't really tapped into that masculine side and maximized it. And so where there are physical limitations that women have, uh, energetically, like there's certain physiological mechanisms that men have that women don't. And men can tap into that physiological mechanism by just uh, pushing themselves. And I think sometimes men hesitate because certain things have rubbed off on them, like, oh, I don't want to work too hard. I don't want to overtax myself. And that's coming from like a female place, because women have to consider that, because that's true of us. We have to really manage our energy levels because we don't have that trigger. So like if you're into like Dragon Ball Z is basically a story of the same thing, which is women have it too, like, because like you've heard of mothers or their child is trapped under a car, they can lift the car and all those things. But men especially have it at a greater degree, and chronically. That's a terrible way to say it, but women is more like a one-time thing. Men is like you can live your life this way and really hack yourself by pushing yourself physically. Push yourself physically because you don't have the same barriers. You're not going to have a period. You're not going to give birth. So you have all this extra latitude to really push yourself physically. And in doing so, just like you can become a Super Saiyan, if that's something you understand, or you can, you do start to become like a Superman. You, just like in the movies, I like Man of Steel. I think it really captured this, where he's an awkward young man at first, and he's got the superpowers, but he's hesitating. He doesn't know, is it right, and all this stuff. Ultimately, um, the more he does for, Lois and the world and humanity and all of this, he becomes stronger and much more secure in himself and who he is, and his strength is optimized and all those things. So I'm just saying that to give you a little push to do the extra that you can do. You can't compare yourself to your wife. It is not 50-50. You should be doing 100% of all of the physical things and really unburdening her, because when that happens, then she is able to tap into a certain metaphysical power that she has, which benefits you and your son. So it's a I don't know. I'm at a loss for it's a group effort. I'll say that. I can't think of anything more poetic to say. But oh my God, I've been on here for 40 minutes. That's ridiculous. Okay. Oh, you agree with me? Okay. Well, great. I think men more than women understand this better. I think men can see this, but men have become complacent because women have forgotten, because it's easier for men to see, because honestly, this to me, it is a man's world, and I consider women are like the special guest of this world. And I am spiritual, I am metaphysical, so I'm referencing things on a spiritual level with that. But materially, I think that's true, and I think men do understand that. And women have forgotten that, or been brainwashed out of that understanding. I don't know. But um, anyway, do what you know you should do. And I think I'm going to leave it at that, because I've been rambling on for 40 minutes and I have to go. But thanks for hopping into my live. Omanai, thanks for coming back. And I hope that you can get a little bit more value out of that app. Tap into it. It's free for anybody. um, Lean into it, and do the inner work that you need to get to where you want to be in life. Wonder Boy, sounds like you're getting on, but you know, do what you need to do. And thanks for coming back in here. I appreciate you coming in and chatting. You're always, it's great to chat with you and everybody else who hopped in here. And check out my links, they're in the description. And I will see you guys on another one. Have a good night.